Cheers. Well, in case you're watching this later, I'm just waiting for people to join. Right now we're at 0-0. I know we're a minute in. I didn't give anybody a specific time that I'd be doing a live today, but I just threw out there that I would try to do a live this evening. So hopefully some of you will join me, and we'll just sit around and chat for a little bit. Looks like my screen's still crooked. Or you're gonna think my building's crooked. Hello. Hopefully you're doing good tonight. I'm gonna check on the puppies real quick. They're outside with me. I've got the door open to my shop so I can get a signal. I think she's just barking at a cat. Hopefully I don't get eaten up by mosquitoes too bad tonight. Pegasus and an LCS number 1042 from Montana. Nice, David. Thanks for joining me. I don't have a whole lot to carry on about tonight, but I don't know, just a little progress with the pipe business. Hey Joshua, Sanson, how are you guys doing? The dogs will probably shake the camera as they go in and out of my door leading outside. So you see, I don't have a very big pipe shop. From this doorway that's right here, even with my hand, to that door is only 7 feet. So it's pretty close in here, but that's all right. Oh, no problem, Sanson. You're from Brazil. Well, thanks for stopping by and joining in. And Tamara, hello Tamara. Whoa, the girls are gonna start running in and out and shaking the whole place. I got a plastic panel laying on the floor that they're walking across, shaking. So hopefully we can hear fairly decent. We got 17 people on right now. Nice. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Nope, we dropped to 7. Just a quick influx. And I'm drinking some tea tonight. And gonna be smoking one of my normal blends, which is the Hobbit weed, which is Lane 1Q, Lane Berry Cherry, Lane BCA, and Sutliff Vanilla Custard, all of which should still be available. And blend those together. I think Lane 1Q is a little bit higher percentage, 2 parts, and the other ones are 1 part, 1 part, 1 part. So a total of 5 parts to make the blend. Quality space more important than size. Yep, that's true. You just got to be organized when you're small. So I will be smoking some of that here in a little bit. Should have brought another pipe with me. Unfortunately, I did not. I am Grunewald Pipes. Oh, that's awesome, Sanish. So you can understand what's being said. That's cool. I actually have a friend from church here in central Indiana that is from the Brazil area also. Um, and then I also have my best friend growing up with. He's married to Irani, I think is how you pronounce it, or something close to that. I don't know. I think she speaks Portuguese, but she's been here long enough. She speaks fluent English. So these are the style of pipes I make. This is out of the Shire series. What's up, Prime? And this is my Aragorn inspired pipe. This was the very first Ranger style pipe I made, and I just went off of the Lord of the Rings and kind of gauged how big it was in reference to his hand in the movie when he's sitting in the prancing pony watching Frodo, and kind of went off that for the size. The only thing I really had to deviate big time was the thickness of the walls on the briar. In the movie, they are a lot thinner than that, and I think the standard for briar pipes is 1/4 inch walls. So, oh, now I'm throwing it on the ground. I apologize. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. How many pipes are you bringing to the Indiana Pipe Show? Let's see. I think I've got 8 of my Shire series, which are a combination of Rangers and Wizards. And then there's a little bit more fun to be announced here in a little bit. I'll be bringing some other pipes also. Early on, like I say, this is my very first Ranger style I made for myself. And early on, I made integrated tenons with the acrylic, and obviously the acrylic mouthpieces are very short. That one's only like 3/8 of an inch. I think Chris's is around that, or maybe a 1/2 inch at the most. I also put the tenon in this backwards, which isn't a big deal to me, but that is not how I make pipes currently. That one was the only one like that, with the tenon being backwards. And no more will be made like that. That was just the first one. I was just excited to be making a pipe. So now, scoot up here a little closer. Now I use these stainless steel tenons that I cut, and those go in place of the integrated tenon on the mouthpiece. They're actually glued into the mouthpieces and also glued into the cherry stem, so they do not come apart on my pipes. That's one of the upgrades I've made. Another upgrade I made was back then in the early days. To begin with, this was white Delrin. I use black Delrin now, and they varied due to using a wood lathe and having some problems with the drilling size. All my tenons were custom cut to fit the pipe and the cherry stem. Now, since then, I've upgraded to the metal lathe, and I do a black Delrin tenon that for the most part is 1/4 inch. I switched over to all 1/4 inch Delrin tenons quite a while back. I mean, that was probably after the first 15 pipes or something. I switched to where I'm consistently putting out the same tenon size. And then also there is 9mm tenons that I use. Actually, they're 10mm, but they're for the 9mm filters. I do a few of the 9mm pipes. Mostly I've done them in Rangers up to this point, and a Volcano that I made earlier on. I need to make a Wizard style pipe with a 9mm tenon in it, or a 9mm filter, I'm sorry. So give somebody the option of that. we are down to 2 people watching. I must have really been boring through all that. But I just kind of want to give you guys an update on the improvements I've made to my pipes since early on. Um, some of them do get the embellishments for one reason or another. I'll put a nickel or sterling silver band down here sometimes. Currently I'm doing 18 millimeter and 20 millimeter chamber sizes. That's probably my most common right now. I'm trying to get a 22 millimeter chamber bit, so I have some people requesting bigger bowls. Stovepipe, Donnie, what's happening? Oh, sorry about that. One of the beagles is running across here, shaking the whole thing. But we're being kind to our dogs, Donnie. Hopefully you're having a great weekend, man. It's been fabulous for me. Chris, my son, he got married today. So that was very cool. Although we were not invited, it was nothing being mean. He just, he was ready to get married, and they're going to have a full-blown wedding next year sometime that they will plan and have all the bells and whistles at. But he just wanted to be biblical and didn't want to fade to, you know, just being a man. So he wanted to get married, make it all legal, and also something else that definitely would have prevented us from going to his wedding was he had hand, foot, and mouth disease right now. So he's broke out on his hands. He's got a few places in his mouth, and I think they picked it up from BW3s or someplace like that. I don't know. Been out in public and handling money, I guess. That's going around here in the school system quite a bit. So one of them probably had some interaction with some younger kids that had been around that. You're a big bowl smoker for the most part? Cool. Thanks for the congratulations, guys. Yeah, my bowls typically are around the 1.4 to 1.6 millimeters, 1.4 to 1.6 inches deep. And like I say, 18 and 20 millimeter currently. Yeah, so he's married, and hopefully he don't mind me sharing that with you. And then sometime next year we'll do the big shebang and invite everybody and do that stuff. But we're gonna probably go out to eat with him here in a couple weeks once they're all healed up and not contagious anymore. And I'm smoking some sweet tea. So I'm just hoping the marriage doesn't create, or my pipe business doesn't create problems for him as far as coming to the pipe shows, because me and him have a ball together, going to the pipe shows together, hanging out together with everybody at the pipe shows, and it's just a great time, and it's good father-son bonding time, and he gets to get away from the house some, so hopefully his wife can tolerate all that. Smoking some sweet tea. Nice. I haven't tried any of that yet, Donnie. I'm gonna have to try some. I'm gonna smoke some hobbit weed here shortly, but I haven't lit that up yet. I was just kind of holding out a little bit before I light up the pipe, because there's gonna be a little announcement or something for possibly a new series at Grunewald Pipes. But now that I've thrown that out there, I am not getting away from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings style pipes will always be our niche, is my plan currently. That's what we're known for out there in the pipe world currently, and we're just growing the brand right now. I've still got another 4.5 years till retirement, and so that 4.5 years is purpose is to grow the company, get our name out there, and get our reputation out there so people realize that we're here, and we're going to stand behind our pipes and put out a good quality product for people to enjoy and hopefully pass on to their kids and grandkids down the line. So that's our end goal here, is to make high quality pipes that will survive generations. One day somebody will be sitting around, yeah, my great grandpa had this pipe. Some German guy made it for him. It's probably what they'll say, because it's our name is that's the German version of our name when our family came to this country. Grunewald in the mid 1700s. One of my forefathers was serving under George Washington. And I don't know exactly what year, but I don't know it's when they came into the country or a little bit later date, they changed their name to Greenwood, which Grunewald in German means green forest, so it's close. But I didn't think about that in the beginning. What I originally thought was, I need a thanks, Donnie, appreciate that. Glad it smokes good for you. Originally, when I come up with the name with Grunewald, I wanted something to put our name on. I didn't want to just throw some random name, Square Post Pipes or whatever. That doesn't have much meaning. Hey, what's happening, Greg? It could have been called Greenwood Pipes or Paul's Pipes or something like that, but I didn't think that had a little bit of mystery to it. I figured by going back to our original name, it would add something to it. Retired makes me sound old. You're a classified permanent weekender. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. When Chris got this hand, foot, and mouth disease, he said, well, Dad, it's only bad for old people. I said, son, I don't know if you realize this, but me and your mom are officially old people. I'm good with that. What's the old Lion King thing? Just the circle of life. Granted, I like being closer to the middle of the circle than the end of the circle, but luckily the circle is continuous, so maybe it doesn't matter where you are in that circle. All right. Well, we got 7 people in here with us. And Greg, the Tunnel Take, and Donnie Stovepipe, and David. So I got 3 solid pipe guys here, out of the 7 at least. I don't know whether I should hold out or whether I should go ahead and drop it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. Currently our series, I call it the Shire series because it is inspired by Lord of the Rings. I make some hobbit pipes, make some human pipes, make some wizard pipes. And Greg says, drop it like it's hot. Yeah, okay. So this is gonna be a little bit more affordable line, but it will not have the aesthetics of the Shire series. It's gonna be more mainstream pipe related, I think. And I'm gonna show you my pipe, and they won't all be identical, but they will kind of be in this realm of freehand. And this got a little tail flip on him. I don't know if you want to call him a tadpole. He's not technically a blowfish because I didn't follow the lines, although I may try following the lines on some. For the most part, these pipes will not follow the grain. They're just going to be well-engineered smoking machines, and with a little bit of style to boot. This one's got this little rib on it on this one side of the pipe. The tail flips the other way. So when I hold this pipe with my left hand, my thumb sits right here on that little flat area. Makes it very comfortable for me to hold. Now all of them won't have a flat, of course, but I do have 2. I have a right-handed one and a left-handed one currently made that needs sandblasted. More than likely, these pipes will all be sandblasted. I ordered some sandblast material. Let me hold this up here again. I know I've looked at it, so. And it's got about a 1.5 inch bowl, just because it's a smaller looking pipe. And like I say, once I get the bigger chamber, I can put bigger chambers in these also. There's nothing to limit me to chamber size on these pipes. And it's similar to smoking a straight pipe because it's 90-degree drilled. It's not 3-point drilling like you do on a bent pipe, because it's just quarter bent. So if you hold it like this, your bowl's just canted forward just a little bit. Signal and Tony, how's it going? Whoop, doggies are shaking the screen. Come on in, little girly. Now, these are going to be a little more affordable price range than the Shire series, because these don't require the extensive amount of time that my premium Shire pipes do. And they're not to any set design. They're kind of just winging it, going by eye, trying to get something that looks nice and uniform, trying for some asymmetrical stuff on these pipes. I'm using an acrylic pre-made stem, but with that being said, the internals of this stem are changed. When I get them, they're drilled to 1/8 inch, like a factory pipe. Doggy. And that's not gonna fly. So these will be drilled out. Currently I'm drilling 9/64, and then where the taper ends, it's a tapered bit. I funnel them out, just like you guys have probably seen the people talk about the artisan pipes, how they funnel them out as they get narrow. This way they have to make them wider. That way you have the same surface area or internal area of your draft hole. So the goal here is to put out a quality smoking pipe. Now, I probably won't go to the extent of like sanding like we would when we hand cut a stem and we drill them and we funnel them. And in the upper end market, you run sandpaper down through there, and so these will just be drilled and filed out. I'll probably run some pipe cleaner with a little bit of grit on it to run through there to try to buff them up a little bit, take out anything that would matter. But as far as the internals, will work just like a regular artisan pipe. So you can see one side's down just a little bit lower than the other side, where that little shield or that little flat stops. One of my girls is knocking stuff over in the shop. So when I hold it like this. I typically hold the pipe left-handed. So when I was designing this one, we had this design made, this shape with the little flipped up tail, but we didn't have it pointed, and we didn't have this little shield or flat on it with this groove. And I can't give him enough credit. Premal Cheddar at Smoker's Haven, at Raw Crafted. He owns both those companies. He's one of the nicest guys you ever meet, and he spent the time to teach me how to make a pipe like this, and I am very thankful for that. It was a great experience spending 3 days with Premal and hanging out and just becoming friends, and the wealth of knowledge he has, and even what he taught me. I'm gonna struggle to remember all the little details that he taught me. He definitely spent time teaching me more about high-end pipes, what would be the word? I can't even think of the word. The little details, basically, that go along with some of the high-end artisan pipes that just make the difference. And then these, he showed me how to make these, and there's still more to be learned on these, I think. He said although the shape is nice, I could improve. I can live with that because I think that's a nice shape overall. And this kind of gives you that upper end artisan feel. Intrinsic. Yeah, you put in trick. I think it's intrinsic was the word I was struggling to think of. But yeah, you go to these pipe shows and you see these guys with these extremely fancy pipes. And now, granted, they're probably blowfish and they followed the grain, and it may be shaped kind of similar to this. But I'd mentioned, man, I admire these guys that can put that line, that hard line down through there and make it look even and flowing. And I was on the sander, try to give you a good look at that line. I was on the sander and he said, "This is meant to be fun." Holy smokes. It was like a light switch went off, guys. I can't explain it. I don't even know. You wouldn't think it's just a sentence. What in the world is that going to flip in your, how's that going to flip a switch in your brain? But it was like, click, light came on. It's like, I'm having fun now. Man, I just went to town on that wheel. Put that little pointed little tail on him. I don't know if he's a tadpole, a blowfish, a goldfish. I don't know what he is, but I thought that adds a little flair to him having that. And then I found out after the fact that it works for a good place to tuck my tongue. Good place to stick my thumb in to hold the pipe. But I don't know what it was when he said that, but it was like, bam, we're having fun. I mean, maybe I've been a little too serious in the realm of making pipes, because I'm making one, and everything I do, I feel like I'm on the precipice of just falling off. And you drill a pipe and you hit a catastrophic crater down in your chamber. I mean, it's out of your control. It's happened to me. I don't know where all my blocks went, but I have several blocks that are sitting around here that drill it, and if I would have moved over 1/8 of an inch, it would have cut right through that, and I wouldn't even have known the catastrophic failure was there. It's just so wild how Mother Nature drops those bombs on you. And so it's just like I'm always on the edge. Is this pipe going to make a pipe, or am I just spending all this time for nothing? So yeah, it's probably more than you guys want to hear, but man, that was enlightening when he told me we're having fun. And that just changed everything for this little pipe. I just started grinding away. If a flaw shows up, I'll deal with it. So, and since I've come back from the Ohio show, I think I've got 6, maybe 7 of these shaped. I got sandblasting equipment coming in next week. Now, granted, it's not big time sandblasting. It's not $3,500 worth of sandblasting equipment like I really would need, or would make it nicer. When you end up with that kind of money and that sandblasting equipment, you can blast and blast and blast, maybe wait 10 or 15 seconds here or there, and your compressor keeps up, and it just makes the whole process smoother and quicker to get done. Whereas with the current setup I have, I'll probably get a blast for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll just have to wait for the compressor to catch up. It's just something I'll have to live with in the growing pains of Grunewald Pipes. But I've got some other equipment that needs paid for still. So I'm going to be getting that paid off, and then once that's paid off, then I'll consider upgrading to a better sandblasting setup. I mentioned I had some hobbit weed. This is unsmoked up till now. So I'm going to pack a bowl of hobbit weed and go from there. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Hopefully you found that fun. It's just It's fun to me. Hopefully it's fun on your side of being part of Grunewald Pipes. Can't even talk. Hopefully it's fun on your side of being part of Grunewald Pipes also. And I haven't decided on a price yet for these pipes. But I don't think these pipes will be more than $150. So these pipes will be a lot more affordable. I mean, just barely more than what you're paying for a Peterson or a Savinelli or something like that, but you'll be getting the smokability of an artisan pipe with these. So I'm hoping the product goes over well. Hopefully people find some fun in them. Hopefully they see the value in them, and yeah, hopefully they're just a fun thing to have. I mean, you go to some of these pipe shows, these guys pull out these really nice pipes that are shaped like this. I don't know why, but when I went to pipe shows early on, I'd see guys smoking these little pipes, and I'm not typically a little pipe smoking person, but I like my cherry stems, and it helps cool the smoke. And they're awesome. Wizards, Rangers, they're awesome looking pipes too, but these guys with these freehand shapes just kind of caught my attention. So hopefully it will go well and be well accepted. And these are going to make their debut at the Indiana. Hey, would you girls quit walking in and out? You're making a disaster of the video, shaking everything here. Hey, be nice to your dogs. Right, Donnie? So, yeah, we'll light this puppy up. Well, that's a good sign. You can pull smoke through it. All right. What are you doing, Bell? I got a little candle running back here trying to keep the mosquitoes out. Sprayed bug spray on. Got the fan running to try to blow them out. Hopefully they don't come invading my room. But I need to get the camera outside so we can get a good enough signal for y'all to get a decent video, hopefully. Uh-oh. What's that about? They probably saw a cat. Sounds like they're starting to get in a fight with each other over it. Come here, girls. Just 1 second. Girls, come here. Come here, Bella. Bella, come here. Come here, girls. Holy smokes. Apologize for that. Couldn't let them get into a fight and draw blood. Blake, how's it going, man? I've got one of those little beagles. She's like her grandmother. She has got an attitude. She thinks she's the queen, and it's going to be her way or the highway, and she will tear into the older dog. Luckily, they've never drawn blood, but I'm usually there to holler at them. Yeah, they were after that cat. So, if Blake's on here, that means he's not out riding his motorcycle. Hey Blake, you can go back and see this in the rest of the video. The other guys already know it, but I've started a new series of pipes. Oh, and I didn't tell you what the name of this series is. Darn it. Guess I ought to drop that here too. These are going to be called the Grunewald Imberling series. Little freehand shapes with acrylic stems that have been slotted open just like an artisan pipe, so they have the smokability of an artisan pipe, but at a more reasonable price. Not that all prices aren't reasonable, but they're all relative, I guess. So that's a new line of pipe that I'm making. They won't all be exactly this shape. They're going to be freehands. They're going to have the acrylic stems opened up to the artisan standards inside the airway. Thank you, Greg. It's pretty nice. I'd say it's probably in the upper 70s here in Indiana right now, maybe mid 70s. But have the door open to the shop so I can get a good signal here and talk to you guys. Had to raise my glasses to use bifocals. We're coming up on 38 minutes already. But I want to get on here and go ahead and drop the news of the new series that Grunewald Pipes will be offering. Kind of a blowfishish shape, but that's what's new at Grunewald Pipes. And I've got some sandblasting equipment coming that will hopefully get me through until I can buy a nicer setup. Now within this opening up and funneling of the acrylic stems, those won't be sanded all the way out like a handmade stem will be, but as far as the slotting, it's still going to be opened up to the width to where it'll have a nice draw to it and work pretty much the same, or at least very close. So what have you guys been up to? Any of you guys been up to anything interesting this weekend? I know you're not that quiet in real life. I've met you. Did Greg already leave us, or did he stick around? Whoa, all the same stem sizes. Yeah, currently I'll be using the same stem sizes. They'll just be in different color combinations. And what I'm toying around with is they're interchangeable from one pipe to the other because they're military mount. So what Chris mentioned that I'm kind of toying around with is I may put a couple of them on the table with stems already in them, and then I may just lay the stems out, and that way people come up and they see the shape they like and the color they like, they can put it together themselves and have a little bit of input in exactly what they end up with, instead of getting whatever stem's stuck in whichever particular pipe. At least that's kind of the thought at the moment. We'll see how that goes over. Hopefully people don't just look at them and think, well, this guy just brought some stuff and threw it on the table and now you got to make it work. Cutting grass, man, that's no good. I cut grass 2 days ago, Thursday, I believe. Yeah, I've got a blue, I've got a red and a black that looks kind of like the Cumberland, but it's not, obviously, it's acrylic. But it looks kind of like that. I've got a black one. The blues are really light, pale blue. I've got a kind of pearly white stem. I've got a green that has kind of this same swirl that this red has. Got a yellow that's kind of swirly, kind of that amber look a little bit. Then I think I got tortoise shell. I think there's like 7 or 9 different colors. So yeah, green. The green one's kind of clear like this red is, and it doesn't show up very good. But there's a yeah, there it is. That little sparkly area coming through this red. It's got those same sparkly areas in the green one. Hopefully people will find them appealing, and we will find out in basically 1 month. September 20th is the Indiana Pipe Club show. I don't know if we should call it the club show or just Indiana Pipe Show. Indiana Pipe Show, I guess. So that's going to be a great time. I've already got my hotel reserved for Friday night, so we will go hang out. Although we live about 2.5 hours away, I'm not sure if Chris will get off at 4 or 5 that day. So if he gets off at 5, that's not going to put us up there till 7:30. But we will be able to be there for some of the hangout Friday night, and probably grab something to eat and go over and crash in the hotel, and then the next morning we'll be back up and back at the Mississinawa Cigar Lounge for the show. And you're going to be in Richmond? I don't blame you. I'd be in Richmond too if I lived that close. That's a great opportunity to make it to a show that's close. Whoa, and you're in that pipe club now, so pretty soon it's going to be President Donnie putting on the Richmond Pipe Show. What about Blake? Is Blake close enough to you? Is he going to be there? Looks like it's just me and you, Donnie. Everybody else left us. I can't believe Greg the Tunnel Take could cut out that quick on us. I'm not sure how close Richmond is to Blake. I know he rode his motorcycle out there last year when we were there. I think it was last year. Me and the wife came out. Hey, would you quit walking on that panel, little girl? It's like you're intentionally doing that to me. And here comes the other one. Whoa! About tipped the whole thing over. What are you doing here, girls? Gotta be close to Daddy, I guess. That's all right. They mean well. They're good dogs for the most part. Whoa, there it goes again. Back and forth. How's that sweet tea coming along there, Donnie? Greg is out doing perimeter checks. No, I haven't seen his last video. I guess I need to check that out. I've been busy today. We had to go get some meat from the meat locker, and then when I got back, I had to run up to the next town up and drop a pipe out off to a guy. He bought a pipe from me. And then after that, I had to go get some weed killer, which I can't put on today because there was possible rain showers. And I also squeezed by Chris's house, wrapped up his posts on his front porch with some decorative crepe tape or whatever that stuff is, decorating tape. Wrote "just married" on the front door, wrote "just married" across the back window of his wife's car, tied off some of that decoration on her car. Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean I was smoking sweet tea. Smoking hobbit weed. I'm drinking tea, sweet tea, but I'm smoking hobbit weed. I'm all confused here. Did you say what you were smoking? My mind is about numb. Whoa, 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 what's going on here? I don't know what I did. I better not touch that screen. I'll have it all messed up. Looks like we had a couple more people stop by. And then they dropped back out, so probably weren't real pipe people. Just people that saw it live and popped in to see what it was. Oh my. Girl's tongue's hanging out. I think you got some water over there in your bowl, little girl. Solani Silver Flake. Awesome. Where you going now? Hey, hey, hey. Crazy. So once I get done with the live here, I'm probably going to hop back into the shop. I'm working on one of these for Chris, but it's kind of crazy because the grain orientation was right on his to chase a blowfish shape, which I've never done. So his is a first on chasing the grain. And currently it looks like his is going to be smooth on the left-handed side with the tail being smooth. And then as you come across the top behind the bowl, I'm going to angle across to put in sandblast on the right side. And all the cross grain will be on the panel between the two. So it's turned into taking a little bit longer to make. Great. I'm glad to hear you like the new pipe. That's awesome. I'm not sure if this one I have will sit or not. No, this one really doesn't sit. But that's alright. I usually don't set a pipe down. I'm usually holding it. But I've been pretty happy with the way that turned out. Hopefully customers will be equally happy with it. Well, at least the mowing's behind you for the weekend and you can kick back and relax. The Richmond Pipe Show, I was just thinking, I think you guys are the week before the Indiana show. I think you're September 13th is the show out there, whereas we're September 20th here. That Ohio show was crazy, Donnie. Friday night, because they have a Friday night for about 4 hours. I think they're open, and then they're open Saturday. And before the show opened, I overheard one of the local guys saying that one of their club members had passed away, and he had talked to the guy's widow and asked her about what they were doing with his stuff, and um, I can't remember whether she asked him to handle the pipes, but what ended up happening for sure was he said, "What are you going to do with the tobacco?" She said, "Oh, we're just going to throw it away." And it was crazy on Friday night because those big carts in the hotel rooms that you put all your luggage on that'll hold like 10 or 12 pieces of luggage, I think they had two of those with box after box after box of tobacco. And they were making some good deals on that stuff because she was just planning to throw it away. So anything they got out of it for her, I'm sure she was ecstatic with when they come back with the money from that, because even at the prices they sold at, they had so much that they made her a nice little deposit. And I think I bought 7 tens from them. I think I was around 120 or something like that, and all of it was way below, or maybe I got 8 tens for 120, and two of the tens were 3.5 ounce tens. And I saw guys just getting box after box of this stuff from them. It kind of turned the whole place into a feeding frenzy or something going on around that table. And I think that really kind of broke a lot of the guys' budgets that showed up for the show, because they just hopped in and started buying. Oh yeah, when when they told her not to throw it away, that they would sell it for her, she just didn't understand the value of what she had. So I mean, even at the prices that they sold at, I'm sure she ended up with a nice little pocket full of money that she never expected to have. So I'm sure that was a blessing to her. It's sad we lose somebody. I didn't hear his age or what he died from, but they didn't really talk about that. I just took it was the impression I got, he was an older gentleman. Guess I should be careful what I say there. I'm pushing. Actually, I'm 60. I'm not pushing 60. I am 60. Yeah, I like that little pipe. That's pretty cool. We'll find out here in a month what the public thinks of the new line of Grunewald Emberlings. I just had a text message. Chris said people are driving past his house honking the horn. Cool. I need to try to find that bigger chamber bit. Get to 22 millimeters. That way you can stick your thumb in it. Awesome. That'd be cool. Yeah, when I get some completed, I'll be showing them on Instagram again, so you'll see them there. And if I can remember, I'll just shoot you a text once I have some that are actually completed, when I get the blast done on them and everything. That way you can check them out. Yeah, evidently where I wrote "just married" on Chris's wife's car, people are driving by his house there because it's sitting right on the road in front of his house in town. People are honking the horn. So that was fun today to go do that. And I just went up there to decorate a little bit because his mom said we ought to decorate up there. Well, then she didn't think we had time, so I ran up and I threw up a little bit of decoration out front. I thought I was doing something. And got home, and then they got home after that a little bit later and sent us some pictures and thanked us for decorating the front yard, wanted to know who did it. Well, he sent some pictures of the backyard, and his now mother-in-law had been over there, and he had had a little bit of poison ivy growing on some of the privacy fence panels in his yard. I told him we were going to have to take care of those at some point. All that poison ivy was ripped off on all the panels, all cleaned up. The rear deck was set up with a table set on it. Chairs were set there. There was a covering over the table. She had a bucket out there with ice in it and a bottle of wine down in the bucket and another bottle of wine sitting in the center of the table. Had some napkins and some wine glasses out, and balloons decorated in several places around the deck. The crepe decorating tape was draped all the way around his privacy fence in the backyard. I said, wow, she just blew us out of the water by decorating that backyard. She really did a good job on that. So, yeah, it was cool. They aren't able to go on a honeymoon due to him having that stuff going on, but he said it definitely helped when they got home and saw the front was decorated, and then they walked out into the back, and the back was all decorated up for them. And yeah, it's definitely going to be a memory for him to share with his kids down the road. That their mom had just got over and their dad had hand, foot, and mouth disease when they got married. hard to come up with a crazy story like that on your own intentionally. What's up, Bella girl? A little Bella girl stopped by, wanting petting evidently. Can't see her like you can Bluey. She's a little bitty short thing, only about 13 inches off the ground. She's one of my smallest beagles I've had, I think. Typically I had 14s and 15-inch beagles. I think she's 13, and I think my other little female is about 14, really. I think she's just a little bit taller than Bella. What are you doing, Bella girl? You're okay. You can go ahead. You don't have to come over here. Oh, coming back. Shaking the camera. Gotta sniff the camera tripod. Sure as I let go of this, you're gonna start moving around and shaking the world, ain't you? Coming in? Good. Thank you. One of these days I may learn how to smoke a pipe and not wear lighters out. Although I haven't really wore a lighter out, but I do a lot of lighting. Probably do too much time talking or drinking. I think we're gonna have a slow smoke competition in Indiana. St. David, Morgan, I don't know. Yeah, he just quit YouTube was the impression I got from Piper Dave 2023. Evidently he had been in contact with him, and said he just decided it was time to quit doing YouTube videos. I don't know, Piper Dave, he's mentioned some negativity on the YouTube pipe community channels, and I mean, you got a little bit of it here and there, but I don't let it ruin my world. You just hope for better. Try to be a positive influence on people. I'm not sure who in particular. I don't know if that had anything to do with St. David's Pipes quitting YouTube or not. But he'll be missed, I'm sure. I don't know, did he delete his channel, or is his channel still there and he just quit doing content? I'm assuming his channel's gone, since Piper Dave's throwing it out there, that, not throwing out that it's gone, but throwing out that he's not doing them. I'm assuming his whole channel's gone. I may get on, take a look, do a search for him, and see if his whole channel's gone here in a little bit. I think I've got his number. I can reach out to him and ask him if everything's okay. Hopefully he's doing well. Maybe he's just reprioritizing life. Maybe he thinks YouTube's taking up too much time of his life. I'm not sure. Just a guess at this point. Hopefully all's well, though, for sure. Looks gone. He'll probably be back. I'll ask him. Cool. Maybe if enough of us hit him up, maybe he'll rethink his decision to leave. Nothing says you got to put out a ton of a ton of content. I know it's been a few weeks since I've been on. I think right before Columbus, Ohio, I posted a couple little things, but coming back from there, I've just been busy and haven't had time to make a video. But I made the decision today that I was going to take the time to make a little live, get on and share the fact that Grunewald Pipes will be offering the new series, the Emberlings. I wanted to make a little announcement about that and let people know that we're doing something a little different than what we always do. Had to ash my pipe. I guess in the future I'm going to have to set a certain time for the lives. That way some more guys will know exactly when it's happening and they'll stop by, hopefully. Just throwing them up here on a whim doesn't tend to get very good results, it seems like. Alrighty, well, we've been on 65 minutes, or I have been. So I'll probably hop off here, Donnie. It's just me and you. Everybody else has left us quite a while ago. But I accomplished what the goal was, to let everybody know. Eat dinner. Awesome. I hope you have a great meal. Hope you have a blessed weekend, Donnie. And I'll definitely talk to you later. And be gone. Can't even say it right. I can't be Donnie. And be nice to your dogs. Take care, man. I'll talk with you later.